This is episode 54. I have hit record.
Oh.
This is 54. 100% I believe this to be 54. What is it?
Yeah, it's 54.
Look at me with the knowledge. It's almost like I run this podcast. Isn't that great? Isn't that fantastic? Do I have any gaming orientated stuff to talk about? Not really. It's been a bit of a... Saying that, no. It hasn't been a lackadaisical week. One of the biggest things that I can probably pinpoint that's happened is Microsoft putting all of the Call of Duty servers back online.
Oh, wow.
All of them.
I honestly thought you were going to say rear-ended. Being rear-ended.
No, not by my car crash.
Oh.
If you want to hear about that, subscribe. I spoke about
Put
that
the juice behind the paywall.
on the Patreon episode. So if you want those juicy details with the pictures to follow, then you have to pay for that, motherfuckers. But this COD stuff, they essentially fixed the servers. So people just in their droves have been going to like Black Ops 2 and all that time, and then like, old COD lobbies are back where everyone's being like extremely racist. It's just a
nostalgia.
It's a great time. Not the racism, the COD coming back is a great time. Let's not get that twisted.
My people have returned.
But I've seen like so many memes and shit of like current Warzone players like as teenagers or like older children.
All right.
Where it's like there's that scene from The Lion King where little Simba's on the bottom of the hill when the wildebeest are running down.
Yeah.
And like above it says like a 14-year-old kid like playing Call of Duty, and then like the wildebeest are like 30-year-old like people that haven't been online for 10 years and like storming them. So yeah, it's cool to see that kind of shit. Probably another big win for Microsoft in the whole like Xbox PlayStation debate, because that's such a cool thing to be able to do, rather than like coming out with like we're going to put this time and effort into remastering it or remaking it, and then you've got to pay another fucking 500 quid to play it, blah blah blah, just to say here's the servers back, off you pop, have some fun. No, nothing added, no updates, no patches, none of that shit. Just there you go, play those games, fuck off, have some fun. Yeah, which I think is really good, especially
you want
with.
Me to load it up?
No, no, I'm fine. I'm all right. Because I don't think it's on the PC. I think it is purely like Xbox console.
Oh yeah, you're welcome if you want to have a go.
No, I myself am not that interested. I'd rather keep the nostalgia than return to it. I'd rather just leave it alone. But it does look very entertaining. Obviously, things like Warzone have become very stale from what I've seen, especially since they introduced the like stuff with the boys in. So you've essentially got like fucking Superman in it. It's sort of like it's turned into Fortnite and kind of spoiled that whole vibe from what I'm seeing. And then speaking of games that have just collapsed, Diablo 4. It's gone.
What do you mean?
It's done. People have fucking pulled away from it. It's basically dead. A recent patch. Are you googling it?
No, I was have a look. Yeah, go
on. A recent patch come out.
All right. Where
they essentially nerfed everything, but not like how normal nerfs work. So like reduce this spell by 5%, damage now does this rather than this. You're talking like a couple of percentages is when nerfs come in place.
Yeah.
Or you get heavy nerfs where it's like reduced overall damage of this thing by 10% and stuff like that. The patch notes on this, 40%, 30% here,
ouch.
Reduced by 50%. I think there's one where it's reduced like by 65%. They reduced the amount of experience points that you gain, so it now takes even longer to level up on a game that was already incredibly grindy.
Yeah.
They released items or an item that only basically like the top 1% will be able to obtain. So it's like, right, that's great. But yeah, they basically just hit everything with these incredible damage reductions and nerfs, which meant that when people started playing after this patch, their characters just felt like dog shit. Extremely squishy, made the game a lot more harder than it used to be. Not that I feel like there was nerfs that were definitely needed, 100%, as there always is. This is how these types of games work, especially live service games. There's always going to be nerfs coming in play, and the way that it works best is by nerfing rather than buffing.
Yeah, well, and like just reading here, people are saying it's like they don't seem to realise the problem isn't there's nothing left to do after 2 weeks. It's the problem that after 2 weeks there's nothing really fun to do anymore. With these patch notes, they just have actively made it even less fun. There's so many things they could have done to alleviate the issue that people are having, and they've just done the exact opposite. And as someone said, this clearest cut example of a bad game design that I've ever seen. Instead of addressing the problem of not enough content, they've just padded out the current gameplay, which is already ridiculously padded out. And this game will be a ghost town by season 2 without a serious shift in direction.
I predicted that this type of shit would happen.
Yeah.
I said this would happen.
Experience bonus for killing monsters of higher levels is nerfed by around 90%.
Yeah. Yeah, they really fucking hit it with a nerf hammer.
Yeah.
Because that comment's right. Blizzard are so notorious for this shit now. We've been kind of lucky with it in Dragonflight, where the stream of content has been quite decent.
Steady,
It's been quite high up, and it has been very steady. So you're not really getting too bored with playing it at the moment. Unlike Shadowlands, where it was extremely time gated, so it was so fucking boring. But you were forced to play it, otherwise you'd fall too far behind. With Diablo 4. I knew instantly after playing it, I was like, it's just not going to survive. I don't see this surviving because it's so unbelievably grindy. And then obviously that's nothing new when it comes to Diablo, but obviously with like the world of TikTok and Instagram Reels and stuff like that, the intake of media and how easy it is to create videos to do with gaming and information and stuff like that. The amount of videos that I showed you and showed other people of most efficient way to get all the Lilith like things and what dungeons you should be doing and in what order and here's the best way to level 100 or to get to level 50. Everything's as quick as possible. Got to do it as quick as possible, which for a game like this where it is completely gated by seasons, where everything resets back into a season, fucking reset for season 2. That's how the game works. That rushing and getting everything done as quick as possible was always going to be a killer for this game, 100%, because you're also battling the fact that the same people that were playing Diablo 1, 2 and 3 are the same people playing Diablo 4, and the only difference that's happened is they've grown up, so now they have even less time to play these grindy games. So you do need the faster routes if you want to be able to keep up and enjoy the game. And the issue with that is you end up with a game where you have to wait 4 months for a fucking season to come out for anything new to do, but you've got everything done in 2 weeks. So it's like, what are you supposed to do? They've already... The content is coming in season 1. So...
Isn't that happening? That's already happened.
I believe so, yeah. So what are you supposed to do when people rinse the game? You can't do anything. And don't get me wrong, it happens in World of Warcraft as well. People rinse it, and then you sit there and you're like, right, well,
now what?
I'm done. The only difference being is that I don't have to completely restart my fucking account to do something new. I can just make another character. Everything's on the same platform. Yeah. Whereas with Diablo, obviously the seasons, we spoke about it multiple times how that works. And with those excruciating nerfs, it does feel like lazy development, but I don't know what they're supposed to do. Because what are you supposed to do? Anything that they throw in that game is going to get rinsed 100% straight away. You could create any content that's designed to last you on average 3 months. It's going to get done in a week because that's what people are like at the moment. And I feel like after all those patch notes and the stuff that's happened, it's not looking good. It's really not looking good for them. It's a bit dirty. Like, I haven't seen Ash talk about it for a while. This is going to be my next, like, it's going to take over from Destiny. And I told him, and I know he'll be listening, I told you, you're talking shit. I just know that it's the longevity of it. It is not there. It's not there for these types of games. It's too, yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of playing it at all.
Nah. No, I haven't
He
seen.
was, wasn't he?
He was playing it. Yeah, I don't. I am kind of glad that I never got involved with it. Obviously, I played it for a little bit, and I was like, yeah, this just isn't for me. Because I would be pissed off if I had like invested this time making a cool character, getting the gear, getting the rotations down, and blah blah blah, feeling nice and powerful, and then you log in, and then boom, you're fucking gaining 90% less XP than you normally would, and then you're hitting fucking 50% less harder than you normally would. I feel like making a game harder through just straight up damage reduction isn't making the game harder. It's not the right way to do it.
No, you're just making it more tedious and less satisfying.
Yeah, especially.
Well, I mean, go on. No, go on.
Especially when it's a bunch of enemies that you have already tackled and you know how to kill them and you've killed them multiple times, and now nothing's changed. It's just that you don't hit as hard as you used to. So you already know. There's no mystery here. These aren't new characters. There isn't new abilities. There isn't new mechanics. It is just straight up. You used to hit 100 damage. Now you do 40. It's like, well, where's the fun in that? Because you remember what it was like mowing them down.
Yeah.
It's like, well, it's not even a skill based thing. You've just made me fucking useless.
Yeah, basically. Not looking good. I can't remember what I was going to say now. My thought's gone.
I just don't know.
No.
Don't know. My.
Are you smug?
I wouldn't say it's smugness, because I don't massively care. However, I feel kind of bad for the people in my guild, obviously on the Discord. Like for ages, it's all Diablo, like not touching WoW. And I feel like they've invested so much time into like rinsing Diablo, and now it's just nope, no point. Because I sent a message in and I just said like Diablo 4, like the eyes emoji, and they were like, "Don't talk about it."
Oh no!
Like, don't go there. So all right, not looking good then. Like, no.
But what?
No, it's not.
And is that because they want to go? They don't want to play it. They've run out of stuff, or just
because they've just got nothing to do in a game where I just can't understand it. If you've done all the content that the game can offer you, or most of the content that the game's offered you, making you hit a lot less than you used to isn't going to be an entertaining way to like tide you over, because you've already done the content. So it's like, so what is the point? What have you done this for? I do believe nerfs are a simple way to balance everything, to get some scaling involved, because you can't just keep buffing everything, because you got to keep buffing the enemies.
Yeah.
It can only go one or two ways. So if you slightly nerf stuff where it makes it a little bit more difficult, not on fucking general mobs, but when you're in dungeons and stuff like that, it makes it that little bit more of an actual play, then that makes perfect sense. But what they've done, I can only imagine it must be like, shit, Diablo 4's in jeopardy. Let's make it, here's a quick fix so that people don't go through the game as quickly as they have, so that any new people that buy it are going to be attached to us for even longer, rather than actually fucking looking at it decently. It's gone
for like the quick way out.
Yeah, it just seems
might be
the downfall of it, which is great.
I just miss when like that good like 2 weeks when Diablo Immortal was fun, and
then they fucked it with a paywall. Because I was really enjoying that.
I know.
That game played really good on the mobile.
Yeah.
On the mobile, on the phone.
On a
mobile device.
Yeah, and like
really fun. The controls of it were great.
Yeah.
They were so good, and then they just went and fucking ruined it.
We still haven't finished our little joint quest.
No, because what's the fucking point?
Neither of us have deleted it off our phone though.
I think I have.
No, you haven't.
I think I have.
Pause for Reece checking his phone.
Got to find the settings. I'm almost sure that I did.
I don't think you did.
Surely not. Maybe it's one of those ones where I haven't used it in so long that it's just been like put to sleep. So like I can't.
Can you not just search for it?
Yeah, I am. No, it's not there. I did delete it. I did delete it.
No, you know what was really annoying about that is.
Why the fuck is Apex Legends on there?
I didn't know you could.
Oh no, it is still here.
Yeah, I knew it.
It is still here. Diablo Immortal, Snap. Remember when Ash was fucking all over that?
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Marvel Snap.
Throwdown.
Whoa. Yeah, you said you had a lot of your
remember
dollar.
that one? That had a lot of money spent on that. Fucking hell. Jesus Christ.
You'll be into that tonight then.
Fucking hell.
But yeah, like I do wish, like I would have happily paid for that game if it meant that. It's kind of what I say about like Dreamlight. Just don't make it free to play. Don't fuck about with all this shit that they're ruining Dreamlight
if that was
day by day.
If that was on Play Store or Apple Store and yeah, it was like a £15 price tag, and you could have it on your phone. Yeah, I would have fucking paid it. But it was cross platform anyway, so I could play it on the laptop, which I did. So even if they like said £40, and then you can, but if they sold it as £40, but you can also play it on your phone. So then I would have actually paid it. Yeah. Because I liked playing it on my phone. Yeah. And then even better, with the fucking Steam Deck, I would have been all over that shit. Yeah. If they had that on the Steam Deck, oh my God, because the controls would have been the same, just with Joy-Cons rather than fucking your thumbs on the screen.
Copyright, yeah.
So much fun. I loved it. And
I know.
To the point where we spent an entire holiday playing it. Completely ignored the fucking sun and the area that we was in. We fucking stayed in the hotel room playing
That's
Diablo.
making it sound bad. For reference, there was literally nothing around.
It was Lanzarote.
We picked a hotel in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, don't ever go to Lanzarote. It's a fucking waste of time.
No, it's not. It's not. Come on.
It weren't for us.
It was It ended up clashing with a different family holiday. Which was really interesting.
We were out holidayed. We'd been on too many holidays too quickly, so won't be doing that again. There'll be at least a month's worth of a gap. It felt
so awful to say it, but it was literally like we've done this too close together. Isn't that funny?
And we missed the dog.
Yeah. Oh, it's unbearable. But no, I mean, it was only a short. Let's not forget, it was only a short trip as well, like for 4 days, something like that. Well, remember, we turned up. No, tell you what.
Fucking hell.
It's not don't go Lanzarote. It's don't fucking fly with Jet2. Sorry if there's any Jet2 fans listening, but
I will be happy to never hear Jess Glynn ever again.
Can you imagine if the plane had actually gone down? That'd be the last thing you hit. Standing in a crowded room.
I can see your face. Oh, so sick of it.
There was this great moment as well where we got the bus transfer thing, and the first time when we got there, we were sat on the bus for about an hour and a half. We were the first ones on the bus, and then we were actually the last ones off of the bus. Yep. Which took another hour, and then when we were coming home, we were the first ones on the bus. We were the first pickup, and then when we got to the airport, Reese was really stressful because our plane was like an hour away from taking off, and we weren't even like at the airport yet. And I was like, "Don't panic. We're on a Jet2 bus, getting on a Jet2 plane. Like, I'm sure they won't leave without us," and they didn't. But we understandably champing at the bit to get off the bus.
That's because it was because it was absolute bollocks. Because when the coach fucking picked us up, we were the last cunts that they picked up.
No, we were the first people they picked up on the way home.
We were
the last ones that got dropped off on the way out.
We were the first ones picked up, and we went all around fucking Lanzarote picking every motherfucker up.
People that were late, people that think. And then, not only was my case, in the end, Reese went around the other side of the bus because they'd left my case on it. But this was a great moment where we were about to disembark the vehicle, and a Jet2 lady pushed Reese back onto the bus just to stand there and say, "Thank you for choosing Jet2 holidays."
This is what happened.
Love.
They stopped. Music starts playing. I jumped straight out of my seat because I was like, I'm getting off of this coach and I'm getting our stuff off of this fucking coach. And I'm pretty sure I had 1 foot on the ground off the coach. And she literally put her hand on my chest and pushed me back up and says, "Nope, you can't go yet." And I literally looked at her and went, "What the fuck?" And then she pushed me back and then said, "Thank you." I was like, what a waste of fucking time that was. Get out my way.
We had, and bless them, it was just, I think if you were going for like 2 weeks, it might make more sense. But we literally turned up. There was a welcome pack saying hello. And then the next day, there was a letter on our table going, "You're leaving tomorrow. Hope you've had a lovely holiday with Jet." So you're like, "Oh, getting a whiplash." But anyway, back to the original point is that, we played a lot of Diablo on that holiday. And, it was great. Like that, I actually had like a really, really nice time.
I really liked it. We were sitting at a fucking buffet and we're both looking at each other and Steph's like, "You thinking what I'm thinking?" "Oh, yeah, we're going to go back and play Diablo Immortal."
100%. Oh my God.
Because it was just so nice, man. We just put on some British TV and then just sat there playing Diablo Immortal. It was
God,
great.
with snacks. Oh, should we go away? Well, no, actually though, do you not think our little when we went away at Christmas for a couple of days and we took the dog, I actually unknowingly had COVID, and then I very, very much knew I had COVID about 3 or 4 hours later. But that was great because we did an Airbnb, and I know there's a little bit going on with them at the minute where like basically it's taking the piss with the pricing and and actually people are being filmed, people are being harassed.
Well, the geezer
shit.
was kind of taking the piss with the fucking cleaning service when he didn't he phone like 60
no,
quid.
No, that wasn't him. That was one we didn't stay in because that took the piss.
Yeah.
No, but this guy had like 13 fucking properties in a tiny, tiny little coastal town. Nuts. Anyway, good for him. Happy for him. Really, actually am. But no, like and it was perfect though because there was a telly with HDMI, so I brought my Switch and was playing that, and then there was a little desk with a little light just behind where the chair was, and Reese had his laptop, and it was amazing. Like it was really.
We had a taste of what it'd be like to have our own gaff, and it felt so great. It wasn't like some little like. Not even little, just a 3-bedroom house.
2, yeah.
No, it was 3.
2.
3.
2.
3.
Think about it. Top of the stairs, there was a double bedroom there, and then there was a double bed in that one, and then a bathroom, and that was it.
No.
What's describe to me the 3rd bedroom then, kid.
Right. Upstairs.
Yep.
Up the stairs.
Yep.
So I've come up the stairs. Directly there is the one with 2 beds.
No. It was off to the left.
Yes. Which is where... I've come up the stairs. I'm now facing this way.
Oh, right, yeah.
There's a bedroom there.
Yep.
Yeah, 2 beds with the window looking into the garden.
Yep.
Yep. And then
now remember it's a terrace, so you've only got 2 walls with windows.
Yep.
Okay.
And then there was
which bedroom had no windows?
And then there was a corridor.
Yeah.
Yeah. With our bedroom and the toilet.
Yep.
I swear there was another room
No.
in between that corridor.
No, because think about it, it's a terrace. So
I
you only have 2
know technically
walls.
if it doesn't have a window, it can't be a bedroom.
No, there was no room.
Did you know that?
Because the wardrobes...
Connor was explaining that to me. If it doesn't have a window, it technically can't be classed as a bedroom.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It's
more of a closet, I suppose.
All right, well...
So anyway, now 2 lovely 2-bed house.
2-bed then. It's a 2-bed house. Really nice. It was a lovely house. 2-bed, 2 bathrooms.
Yeah.
Was it 2 bathrooms?
It was like, yeah.
There was, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was nice, man.
It
was
right.
decent. We had
and
a
there was
little
a Christmas tree.
Yeah, I liked it. It was really nice. A fucking little like fake fire.
Yeah.
Oh, it was
which we put
crusty.
on because I was having,
because you was dying.
Yeah.
And then we just fucking gamed all night. It's a shame about Diablo Immortal though, man. Once I hit that paywall, I was just instantly like, no, fuck this.
It's so strange because I was always like 3 or 4 levels just behind you, wasn't I? Because I played a couple of days later. And what got me was I never actually hit the paywall, because when you hit the paywall and immediately stopped, I kind of stopped. Which kind of has that weird like lack of closure where I believe you and I believe everyone that did hit it, but like having not hit it myself, there's like this tiny bit of hope that maybe if I were to hit it, it'd be all right. And I'd still enjoy it, but I know that that's just not going to be the case. And yeah, it is. I did have a little dabble actually a little while ago, didn't I? Because I just miss her. And actually, like, all of the textures and everything had, like, deleted itself.
Yeah, mine's the same, so you have to re-download everything.
And, yeah, and, like, there was quite a few, like, for some reason, do you remember when I originally did it, my phone just wouldn't like it.
Yeah.
Trying to do it, and, like, I only have very few, like, when I had a little dabble that was there. And it did feel good. It felt so nice, but it is pretty dead compared to what it was when we played it, obviously. There's still a couple of people about, but hardly any compared to, but... Oh, it just could have been so good. It could have been so good. So versatile. Like, imagine, in the extent that where, if that was, if it was successful and if it was not, how it actually was with paywall and whatever, like, I reckon to the extent where you might have never bought a Steam Deck, if your phone was cutting that mustard for you, you know what I mean? Like, there really is something there with making it accessible to something that everyone already has. Everyone has a smartphone.
There is a high possibility that if it had taken off and actually sustained its flight, then I would have gone down the route of getting a Lenovo Legion.
Yeah.
as opposed to getting a Steam Deck. I would
And
have
that
got
was
a
your
gaming
toss-up,
phone,
wasn't it, really?
which is what I've been planning on for years, is to get hold of a gaming phone. And
You used to look at the Razer ones, didn't you?
yeah, and I really thought it was a Razer 1 when they first come out, and then a Razer 2, and then I set my sights on a Lenovo Legion, and then it was the Asus ROG that was the one that I was gonna get because it just tipped the point above everything else. And there's just nothing. There's nothing out there. I can see exactly.
You wouldn't want to play on the console instead.
Yeah, I can see exactly why so many companies are trying to break into that mobile gaming world, because that is such a, like you say, the accessibility of that with today's day and age, the way that phones are now. Almost every single person, obviously I understand if you can't quite afford it, if you're not in the same position, but let's say majority of people have a decent phone.
Yep.
They just have one.
Yep.
Because much like the PS5, the Series X and the S, PC is slightly different. But let's take those two examples. We've spoken about it before, hitting that hardware ceiling.
Yeah.
There's only so high you can go, and then you've got to look at other avenues. And it's the same with phones. Most phones nowadays are heavy hitters. Even the fucking wanky ones you see on TikTok Shop where it's like fucking 90 quid.
Yeah.
For a time, they're still decent.
Yeah.
So that versatility of having something that you use every single day for the majority of your day, whether it's fucking flicking through TikTok or you're like me where you're constantly using Google Maps, everyone's on their phone all day, every day, and yet the gaming side of it, there's nothing there. Obviously, you've got things like Call of Duty Mobile and then Diablo Immortal, Need for Speed, but they're not. They are not the same.
It almost seems to be like, even if these games that come out are just so intensely successful in their first run, you know, even let's say first 6 months, there's, I feel, little longevity at the moment. Like if you think like the summer of Pokemon Go will go down in the history books.
Yeah, 100%.
I've never been so active in my life.
Yeah.
I was going up to the fucking Olympic Stadium just because that's where all the good Pokemon were. Like
coming out
once.
clubbing at like fucking 3 a.m, and there's like hundreds of people, like it's middle of the fucking day, and like everyone's on Pokemon Go.
We were never so healthy, you know what I mean? Like, and you know, even
people have never felt safer to go outside. Obviously, I know there was a spout of like people getting their phones rubbed up because like everyone's on their phones.
Hit by cars and shit. Yeah.
But ultimately, there was never been so many people out in a night. It was so great.
Yeah. And you could just tell. You could tell who was Pokemon going, you know, and like even going back to like really early on, like Angry Birds, and you can't even get like just normal bog standard Angry Birds anymore, which I find sad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like some things. That's what's nice. Like going right back to the start, the fact that, you know, like some of the COD servers are back online, because people I think do want that, and I think like with Nintendo Switch, obviously that with the online membership, there's loads and loads of emulated games, and they're bringing new ones all the time. And like that, there is now I know we've had the conversation before where you especially, but also me to quite a significant extent, we don't necessarily go in for the replaying the old games. Exactly like we just said earlier. I can't remember if it was on this or the Patreon, if you'd like to have a look. And
for £5 a month.
About kind of keeping that, it wasn't the start, keeping that nostalgia for yourself and not kind of replaying it now.
Yeah.
But I do think that, they've yet to break into something that stays around.
It's the corporate greed of it.
The fucking ads as well. Like, I know...
Well, Diablo didn't...
Or, no, not the ads, but like, for Diablo, but there are games where, like, there are a couple where it'll be like £2.49 to get rid of ads.
I did the same thing with Throwdown.
It.
Yeah, I did the same thing.
And
that's why they do it. It's why they do it with YouTube, Spotify.
And when you think about it, so we're here saying, you know, if you'd have made Diablo Immortal available for 30 quid, and 30 quid, and still have shit that you can buy, much like anything, ESO, WoW, whatever. But ultimately, if Diablo Immortal had taken off and the pay, someone, you know, everyone was okay with it having a fat fucking paywall, per customer they would make so much more because
Of course they would.
so they obviously, I think
They didn't.
there must have been a point where they made that decision and went, nah, we'll risk it and hope that we get fucking loads.
What they did is they made it pay to win, but masked it as they were clever with it, but not at the same time, because people are smart. They made it pay to win without making it pay to win. So technically, you can access everything within the game for free.
Yeah, if you grind your life away.
Much like every single fucking mobile game there is, Clash of Clans. So, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. Throwdown. That you can play them all for free. You can gain absolutely everything for free, but it takes you fucking forever. And people did the maths and the monetary maths for Diablo Immortal, and it was thousands of pounds, thousands and thousands to be able to get the top tier quality gear. And the hours that would have had to be put in, it was hundreds of years to be put in to reach that level without spending any money. So people were doing that. Obviously, it's all RNG based, so it's completely random. So it's like, say there's a crest that you need. There might be a 1 in 1,000 chance of you getting it. But so you might get it on the first fucking try, you might get it on the 55th try. But the majority of people are going to get it somewhere near the 1,000 range. So that means that in order for me to get that, say we put it into hours, I might get it in my first hour of gameplay, but majority of people it's going to be 1,000 hours. So you go with the average of that. And that's how they got away with it, by saying, well, you can get everything. But though they're also the people that are in charge of the RNG. So they can tweak it down whenever they want. World of Warcraft have done that before. Loads of games with that kind of loot system have done that before. Yeah. Where they go, all right, well, this has a 5% drop chance. Let's just tweak that down a little bit, or let's bump that up now because it's been out for X amount of time. Yeah. And yeah, with Diablo Immortal, it was so much money that you would have needed, and because of that, there was a significant skill gap in that. Yeah. Obviously. Places like China, where mobile gaming is massive, a lot of like the 1% player base of Diablo Immortal was in countries like that, where it's already an integrated thing. Mobile gaming in the continent of Asia is massive compared to the Western side, and it was very, very noticeable that once you hit a certain point, you weren't getting any form of progression, but there were people that had paid that were above you that could fuck you up instantaneously. So it's like, right, so I'm not even being given the chance to get to your level for free. I'm never going to get it without paying. Yeah. And I think that spoiled it, because I genuinely think that Diablo Immortal could have been the game that paved the way for mobile gaming, because it played so well and it ran so well and it was so fun. Yeah. I loved it so much. It was such a good game, and it was free. It was free, which it shouldn't have been. Yeah. Should have made it pay.
And I think it's interesting as well, like the further thing to that. So you've got like you say, either the monetary investment or the time investment, but also the third thing is like I was just saying, I didn't bugger off for any other reason other than you did, and I watched you do it and knowing the gamer you are. And I think kind of potentially what's happening with Diablo 4 now, as word spreads that it's kind of dead in the water, more people are going to go, oh, fuck. Yeah, because even like you've just said there, it's gone from hyping it up and playing together and doing this to like, oh yeah, no, I don't think Connor is playing it, and I don't know Ash is either. Like it drops off in your circles as well.
Massively.
And that is just such a killer. Yeah, but it also kind of feels like they don't give a fuck.
They didn't give a fuck. They got their money, they cashed out, and then off they went.
Yeah, and I still get push notifications like all the other day I was at work and my little watch went, you have a letter from the sanctuary.
Of course.
They're like, the letter says, please come back.
But again, it harps back to that corporate greed point I made earlier, in that they don't look at the fucking longevity of it. It's so ridiculous. You look at something like Diablo Immortal, and Blizzard would have been presented with, right, you can either have 1 million players now, and then they might spend X amount of money in your shop for all the shit that you're putting on it. But in 6 months' time, that might drop down to 100,000 concurrent players for the next 10 years. Or you can charge people for the game and have 500,000 people start playing your game, but in the next 6 months it's going to be 600,000. And then it will stay consistent at around 400,000 to 500,000 for the next 10 years. With a shop implemented into that as well. It just seems so crazy.
I know.
I find that so... It's so short-sighted. Let me quickly grab some cash off of you and then fucking spend it elsewhere and then leave this fucking dying in the water. Because obviously they brought in a new class, didn't they? The I think it's like a vampire or something. It was a vampire type. And everyone was really hyped for it and they announced it. And then at the end of the fucking announcement, Diablo Immortal. And everyone was like, fucking hell. Not interested because everyone thought it was Diablo 4.
Shit.
I was like, fuck you cock teasers, because they knew exactly what they were doing there. But fucking Apex Legends did the same thing. They did the same thing. They made it mobile, made you have to pay for fucking everything, and then brought out these really cool operators that you were only exclusive to the mobile. Which you know exactly why they do that, because it's trying to entice you back to mobile gaming rather than the console version of it.
Yeah.
Because they've got like, I can't even remember what one it was, but it was a really cool fucking operator there. I remember Ash talking about it. It looked fucking sick, but you could only get it on the mobile version of it.
And you can imagine it being something as simple as, you know, a bit of market research that shows more people pay for extra shit on mobile versus console. So they're like, brilliant, let's push that.
Yeah. Let's do a load of shit like that.
It makes you feel like a little like a little like mouse in a little experiment. Do you know what I mean? Being sort of played with, that they don't actually really
move it closer to your mouth.
Oh, sorry. Sorry about that. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's being the it makes me sad that they may have been presented with the scenario you just said and chosen, we'll just get the money and fuck off.
Let's get some quick cash going. Or that won't happen.
Why is it? Well, I suppose the developers might not be in charge of that, but you know, it just seems crazy that, you know, a lot of these people are so incredibly passionate about making something decent and that they can just, you know, sort of be.
I don't believe that it's a developer thing. That I believe it's much higher up. It's the corporate side of it that fuck a lot of stuff up, because even now when there's a lot of like gameplay reveals and stuff like that, and you see the developers talk, you can see half of them are reading from a fucking script.
Yeah.
They've been told exactly what to say rather than speak their mind, even though they're the ones that have made the fucking game.
Yeah.
Because they're not the ones that have the deep pockets to fund it. No. They're being told what to say, and people know that. Gamers know that. And I just feel like a lot of the shit that goes wrong with gaming has nothing to do with gamers. It has everything to do with people sitting in an office upstairs that probably aren't even fucking gamers themselves. They just like the money.
That Tetris film we watched, which is just like kind of encompasses exactly what we're saying. It was who can get the rights to this game,
who can make the most money.
Yeah.
Who can make the most money out of this as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
And I feel like that is such a shit way to run gaming, because that is not what gaming is about. It's not about fucking making the most money. It's about being able to play with your friends and living in that fantasy world that you can't do in real life, and being able to escape. And I feel like once you... Yes, I understand that it's a business and it has to make fucking money, and it's very cutthroat. Look at the fucking studio that made Gollum. Gone. Fucking useless now. But you can't just be greedy with everything, even with things like The Last of Us. Why are we making remakes for both of these games? They're making a part 2. It's either a remaster or a remake. Why? Yeah. Literally why? It was only a couple years old. It does not fucking need it. It looked fantastic on the PS5. What the fuck are you going to do to it?
I mean, you played it on the PS4, but...
Yeah, but it looks great on the PS5. So why?
I see
what more?
Yeah.
What
Have
more?
You played it on the PS5?
No, but I've definitely seen bits of it on the PS5. Either way, it doesn't need to be fucking...
Yeah, no, not at all.
Nothing needs to be done to it. But so it's just a clear cash grab, because I feel like people look at it as you're sitting in a business meeting and it's right. Well, we can either invest X amount of money and try and make a new game and it potentially flop, or we can take this game that's already massively popular, put it in a different fucking skin, and then resell it to the same idiots that bought it. Let's see how many people buy it.
Yeah.
And they always go for option 2.
Well, yeah, and it's like looking at someone who has like tweeted and said, you know, I saw one the other week and he'd played it like, I think it was like 18 times all the way through. And again, how depressing that they might look at someone and go, yeah, fuck it, right, all right then, we'll make it again, because this knobhead who's played it 18 times, he'll definitely play it if we make it a bit shinier. And that's so depressing.
But then you have the massive games that people are screaming to be remade that do not get touched.
Yeah.
You got Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. People fucking go ballistic wanting that to be redone, and yet it's not here. It's just not here. And then you got the likes of fucking Prince of Persia. Again, people screaming for that to be fucking remade. Even the early Ratchet and Clanks do that. Simpsons Hit and Run. The old Lord of the Rings game. All these this massive catalogue of these fucking incredible games that just get completely ignored for shit that's either not even old enough to be considered for a fucking remake or a remaster, or were so popular that it's just a clear grab for money. You know what I mean? Why? I don't understand why I don't know. And I feel like with game showcases and stuff like that, there's so much stuff that you see now where it's like, well, who asked for this? Who wanted this game to happen? And then they flop, and then you don't see them ever again. It's I don't know. I feel like gaming's on that slippery slope of being something absolutely incredible, but at the same time, it only takes one thing for it to be absolutely shit. And I think games in themselves are very much like that. It really doesn't take much now for people to be switched off from a game and then that potentially ruin the entire game.
Yeah.
Diablo 4, prime example here. That game might not be absolutely ruined, but its fucking reputation has definitely been tarnished by one set of fucking patch notes. That's all it's taken.
Yeah, well, and actually, I would like to think a little bit of karma based on some, stuff like Diablo Immortal. In that, I hope that they do. I wonder, had that game been amazing, people might have a little bit more tolerance for what's happening now with Diablo 4.
Yeah.
Whether they were into that or not. Like, I think hearing about it and thinking, shit, that takes a piss. And it is frustrating, and the industry has massively changed. Like, even with between, like you say, mobiles becoming as powerful as they are, but also our attention spans completely changing.
Yeah.
The world being shit and you're yearning for nostalgic things. There's so many different elements that it must be very, very difficult to get that right. Even when you think, like, I often think when a game gets released and if it's like buggy as fuck, you think, what have you been doing then? I don't want to be harsh, but like, what have you been doing? Yeah. Even something like Tears of the Kingdom, those glitches shouldn't have happened. They shouldn't have happened the way they did, but, and perhaps that's just luck, I don't know, but, or people, you know what I mean? But is that not the point?
Here is the top 10 list on the Play Store of games.
Oh yeah, go on.
The top charts. Number 1, Pokemon Sleep.
Again, because it's new.
It's literally a sleeping app.
Yeah.
Right. Monopoly Go.
Okay.
Royal Match. Roblox.
Yeah.
Burger Please. Begging Life. With a picture of a homeless geezer on it saying help.
Jesus.
Block Blast, which is just a blatant rip-off of Tetris. Life Bubble. Chrome Valley Customs. And Subway Surfers. The fuck... What is that? What is that? I'm going to keep scrolling until I eventually find a game.
I mean, Roblox is a given.
That's actually a fucking game. Roblox, yes, but that's just fucking children that are running that shit.
Yeah, and I think Subway Surfers is the same.
Subway Surfers has been around for fucking ages. FIFA Football is any game that I've seen that Tetris on 48th. Other than that, there ain't actually anything Mario Kart Tour 57th. There's nothing on here that is screaming fucking mobile games. These are all just little games that you jump on for 5 minutes every day because they fucking lock you out of everything after that. I don't understand where, like,
I you have to pay for that now.
It's just what an unexplored, but at the same time must be so difficult thing to break into.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I just don't know. I think I'm just extremely butthurt about fucking Diablo Immortal, man.
Such a shame. Oh my god, Pokemon Sleep is actually 15th in the Apple Store.
Oh, is it?
Probably because I think it came out slightly later.
Diablo Immortal, 10+ million downloads.
That's what I was trying to look for, but
I haven't been on it in so long that it's disabled it on my phone. That's why nothing's popping up for. It just disables it, so it's still downloaded, but it just stops it from doing anything on your phone until I re-enable it because you just haven't used it in that long.
Yeah, fair enough. That's quite clever.
But I just find it. Let me see some of the reviews on it. It's a good game, maybe a little bit repetitive at times, but the updates are insufferable. Every time they drop an update or event, it seems like you have to download and reinstall all the game resources, even with a super fast broadband connection. This is an exceedingly painful experience.
Grim.
Overall, love the app. However, since the most recent updates rolled out, the quality of the game has rapidly decreased. It glitches really bad. It had it freeze and lock up. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, it's a lot of people saying the same shit that we're saying, that they love the game, but they just fucked it.
Yeah.
They just completely fucked it.
Out of nearly 18,000 ratings, it's literally about 80% 5-star. But then there's one here, it just says, lowest point in Blizzard history. Sorry, am I too loud?
No, you're too quiet.
Too quiet, sorry. I can't sit back.
That's why you haven't got the headphones on.
Oh, sorry.
You can't hear.
Yeah, well, I don't want to mess up my curls, okay?
Sorry.
No, I'm joking. But yeah, it just says I've been playing Blizzard games since the 80s for perspective. Appreciate the graphics, literally exactly what we've just said. I appreciate the graphical quality and the gameplay is smooth, but it's a hollow shell gacha game. Once you reach max level, there is no end game at all worth a penny.
Yeah, literally. Which is just a shame. There'd be a fucking massive uproar if it weren't mobile games. If it was PlayStation, Xbox, fucking laptop, Switch, whatever, Steam Deck, if it was anything like that. But again, those are games that you pay for. Most people look at it and go, "Well, it's free. What do you expect? Like, it doesn't cost you anything." But when it's a game like that, when it was so good on the phone, yeah, I don't know, man.
I know. Let's be optimistic for the future. Maybe someone will cotton on eventually.
And we'll leave it on that somber thought.
Yeah. I don't know. Make it a positive one.
Positives. Any positives here?
I've got some hard stacks.
I've got a load of hard stacks for my mystery boxes from Pop Figures, so that's decent.
What 15. Was your choice between leaving Sauron out? Least famous?
I suppose so. Yeah, I suppose. Cause,
have you had to take them out of the plastic ones to put them in there?
Yeah. So the plastic ones are somewhere. I think they're in that box. Funny enough, I got to give Mark the fucking boxes. You know, they come with the Funko boxes. I'm going to give them to Mark because he sold a load of Funkos, but he hasn't got any boxes to send them off in.
What, them little ones?
Yeah.
That might be a little bit. It's not massively protecting. You almost need something. Yeah.
Well, they turn up in them ones.
No, they turn up in a box.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you won't be able to pad it out at all.
That is very true.
But what he could do is put a little bit of bubble wrap around that and then put it in like a.
And then put it in a bigger box.
Yeah.
Or you could just buy your own fucking boxes. Stop thieving from me, you bitch. Yeah. I still haven't got that Squidward.
What Squidward?
That signed Squidward by Roger Bumpass.
Yeah.
They still won't fucking...
Oh, man, let it go. I hate to say it.
Oh, please! It's great. Right, see you later, everyone. We're fucking off. Uru.